moneyHOP is India's first cross-border neobank, enabling Indians to be able to send and spend in any currency abroad.
Hello and welcome to another episode of 8. My name is Sanjay Chakrabarti. I'm the founder of Tag8. Today's guest is someone who is significantly changing the entire paradigm as far as foreign exchange is concerned. I'm absolutely delighted to have my dear friend Mayank Goyal, who is the founder of moneyHOP, to today's chat. Mayank, welcome to the chat.
Thanks for having me, Sanjay. I'm delighted to be here.
Mayank, you know the format, so I'll get to the first question, one breath question. Who is Mayank?
Mayank is an early rising mountaineer. He's ambitious, he's logical, data driven, and highly perseverant. An eternal optimist, I would say.
Super, I guess that's what's required to look at changing the otherwise controlled environment of foreign exchange. So let me get to the next question. Tell us something about moneyHOP, again in one breath.
Sure. So moneyHOP is India's first cross-border neobank, enabling Indians to be able to send and spend in any currency abroad, globally like a local, via a mobile app and a card product, which enables them to have a multi-currency bank account and the ability to do 0% markup currency exchange on the app real time.
Say I'm traveling outside India, I'm a tourist. How is it today and how does moneyHOP change that paradigm?
Sure. So typically when a tourist travels abroad, and there are about 30 to 40 million unique people who travel abroad every year, the options they have available right now is either cash or a preloaded foreign exchange card, a credit card or a debit card. And as you rightly pointed out, the market has been a very closed market whereby depending upon how ill-informed the consumer is, he's paying anywhere between 3 to 5% for every dollar that is exchanging. And that is on top of that, it has a very poor user experience. You have to go to the branch, fill in a bunch of paperwork, predetermine how much money you want to carry, get the card loaded. God forbid, if you run out of money when you're abroad, then it's another set of issues that you have to face with. So certainly not in line with what an average 29-year-old millennial in India who's a upwardly mobile and a digitally native consumer would expect, right? So the way we have changed this paradigm is, if you're able to order groceries in 10 minutes and watch movie on demand, why is that you're not able to do such an essential banking services on demand, right? And hence we've kind of come up with a multi-currency bank account format for Indians, whereby you have an INR account, pound, dollar, euro account on the same app, and you can real time do currency exchange on the app. So let's say if you land up at Heathrow, say I want 1,000 pounds, you can click a few buttons, we will real time debit your INR card, fund your pound wallet, and the same card that you were using in India to spend INR, you'll be able to do that. You'll be able to use to spend pounds in London. Think about it from this perspective, right? When you travel from Delhi to Bombay, you don't think about which currency or which card or which app to use to make a payment. Why in this increasingly global environment where people term themselves as global citizen, why should it be any different if you're traveling from Bangalore to London or London to New York or back to India, right? So the concept that we've come up with is that be global, spend like a local, right? Whereby you spend in India like in INR, pounds in UK, dollars in US, and so on and so forth. Now, obviously, the lives that we live, we have an entirely busy life, and we should have the time to kind of explicitly think about, oh, I need to carry currency, right? So what we've done is that you fund your INR wallet like you would do, right? It's like a debit card product. You land up in Heathrow, you decide, okay, I think I'm going to be here for a week. I'm going to spend 2,000 pounds. I'll feed real-time currency exchange on the app. You click a few buttons. In real time, I'll debit your INR wallet and I'll fund your pound wallet. And the same card which you were using to spend in India in INR, the same card now you're using to spend in pounds. And I'm not debiting your INR account at that point in time because you've already pre-funded at a certain rate your pound. So even if the pound goes from 95 to 100 tomorrow, you're not exposed to that currency rate fluctuation because you've already bought and kept pounds with you.
Awesome. That really sounds unreal, and I'm really glad that now we have this option as we kind of I'm sure travel has opened up, and therefore there will be significant greater use on that. Let me ask you another question. Another big remittance out of India is students going out to study. Does your product also kind of help them?
Absolutely. So the two major use cases, which I briefly touched upon in the introduction, is send and spend, right? Send is essentially an account-to-account remittance, whereby for various purposes, money is moving from India abroad. And as you correctly pointed out, students' remittances, be it for college fees or for living expense that the parents give them, is one of the big use cases, right? So our application has been enabled for both the use cases, whereby you can do a remittance abroad, which is the send part, and do currency exchange and be able to spend it using the card both from the app. So now if you have a moneyHOP account, you can add the beneficiary, which could be the college tuition fees account, or your child's foreign account, which could be a Bank of America account or a NatWest account in the UK, like a beneficiary, do a payment, and the money will go into his account like an NEFT transaction would, right? So it's digital, it's paperless, it's presence-less, and it's in a very economical way of remitting money abroad from India.
That's outstanding. I'm sure this seems actually too good to be true, and I'm really betting that this will really get to be used across the board. But let me get to the next question. Tell us one big learning that you've had in your entrepreneurial journey, given that you've been pretty much well placed in your job, investment banker. How did you get into this whole entrepreneurial journey, and what's that one big learning of yours?
Sure. So as you pointed out, I was working in London, had a good job, did kind of investment banking for 10 years, then decided to kind of venture out and do something on my own in this cross-border neo-banking space. And one thing I've kind of learned is that, whatever you plan and the way you've kind of channeled your thoughts as to how the game is going to pan out is certainly not going to be the way you imagined it, right? There'll be a lot of ups and downs. There'll be a lot of, roadblocks. But nevertheless, you can't stop having a plan. You certainly need to have a plan in place. And I think it's very important for one to kind of be perseverant and have that grit to overcome those challenges, right? So if you look at our journey, we started out in January 2022, and primary use cases travel and foreign education. 2 months into our journey, we're just kind of starting out, a few guys that we've hired. March, I come back from London from a business trip, and pandemic hits, right? And all our plans kind of go out of the window. There wouldn't have been a worse time in the last century to start a business that we are into than it was in January, March 2022. But then again, right, we knew our fundamentals were strong. We understood the systemic market, and we understood that we didn't know how long it was going to take, but we certainly knew that this was going to roll back in a year or 2 years, and then certainly people are social animals. They want to travel, they want to kind of be out, and hence travel would start. And this is not going to stop globalization, right? So we kind of stuck to our guts, we stuck to our fundamentals, we kept our head down, and we kept building, and we've come out of it stronger. And I keep telling my team, there can't be there can't be any more lows that we go through. It's only high from here, right? So to answer your question, I think have a plan. The plan is going to go off for a toss, but keep bringing it back, right? So keep decreasing the delta between where you would want to be and where you are at any given point in time, so that you are at least heading in the right direction, right? I think that's one of the learnings that I've found through my journey.
That's really insightful. And I read somewhere, in fact, some of the best, strongest businesses that are there today came up in 2008. So pretty much I feel that, again, the pandemic has already given rise to significantly good businesses and good models. And I see that for moneyHOP as well.
Thank you for that.
So, Mayank, the next question is there any specific habit of yours that has really helped you, personal habit that has really helped you in your entrepreneurial life?
No, absolutely. A few years back, I started practicing meditation and made it a morning routine. Nothing big, 15, 20 minutes, just sitting by yourself and thinking through, right? And that inculcated into a habit of me journaling. Again, nothing big, just half a page every day. And then I tried to bring that habit into my work life as well, whereby I feel that if you need to be able to measure stuff to improve it, right? So that like how you given marks at the end of every unit test in school, I think similarly
Right.
in life and in professional journey, it's very important to be able to measure where you want to be, where you are, and what's kind of the delta. So kind of stopping and reflecting on how things went, whether it happened in a good way or a bad way, is extremely important, right? So almost like a after action review, whereby we sit down with our team, we understand, why did it go right? Can we actually use the same example for other projects? Or if it went wrong, how can we prevent this from happening in the next project, right? So I think that really pausing and reflecting is extremely important. We try to do a Saturday reviews with the teams, whereby we try to reflect on what has happened in the previous week and what would we want to be in the coming week. I think that's really helped. And one thing I really do is that I write down in the night what I want to be covered in the next day. So that way, I
Nice.
think subconsciously I've already I know exactly what I want to do in the morning. I am not, I'm not confused in the morning as to what the day is looking like. Subconsciously, I've already absorbed and probably even found answers to the questions I need answering. And I think that really helps me and moneyHOP be on a continuous path of self improvement.
Two excellent points. Especially the second one, I'm going to start implementing it as app. I think that's a great point. I do that in the morning, but I feel that your point of doing it the previous evening may be more powerful.
Yeah.
So, Mayank, coming back to the last question, again, back to our one breath, where do you see moneyHOP in 8 months and in 8 years?
I think in 8 months' time, we would like to be a household name in cross-border banking in India. We would have established an office in London and Dubai. And in 8 years' time, we would have either exited to a large financial institution which deals with cross-border payments and remittances, or IPO.
Outstanding. Mayank, I'm really, rooting for you out here for specifically the reason that I feel what I mentioned earlier as well, that Forex, especially in India, needs significant transparency. And I think this is exactly what you are giving us. Apart from the convenience bit is also very important, but I feel that there is significant transparency that is missing. And I'm just glad that you're bringing that to the table. I see significant use cases in what you're doing, and really delighted and excited the way things are going for moneyHOP. Let me tell you, I've already heard from several people in terms of whether they should be using moneyHOP, what is it all about, and I take pride in telling people that I do know the moneyHOP founder. So thanks so much for coming in, and look forward to catching up more often.
It was lovely speaking to you, Sanjay, and thanks for having me over.